Hello， 大家好，我是 Patrick， 欢迎来到 Wicked Beer Review。那我们今天很高兴可以邀请到 Ryan，Welcome Ryan，
大家好。
他是我们 St. Austell 啤酒酒厂的进口商。那我们今天很开心能够邀请 Ryan 来一起跟我们 review 这一支 St. Austell 的 Proper 酒。So Ryan, why don't you tell our viewers about yourself?
Firstly, thank you for letting me speak in English.
No problem.
But I'll try a little in Chinese. 我叫雷恩 Ryan. 我是英国人，我非常喜欢喝英国啤酒，所以我开始英派啤酒。我们进口英式啤酒跟苹果酒。我们第一个啤酒厂叫 St. Austell, so St. Austell. I'm going to go back to English now because it makes my life easier. So St. Austell is our biggest and number one brewery. It's a family-owned brewery, independently run since it was started in 1851.
Oh, nice.
So it was founded by Walter Hicks. He had a big farm and he decided farming wasn't enough. He wanted to do beer as well. So he started the brewery back then. It passed down to his daughter Hester, probably making her one of the first female heads of a major brewery in England, I would imagine. I think she was one of the first, so that's a fun fact.
Yeah.
And it's stayed with the family ever since. So still independent today, and they make a range of fantastic beers.
So the first thing about this beer, the one thing that caught my eyes is obviously the Black IPA. This is the new, I guess, the new trend or the new, I want to say, a beer style that has emerged in the recent years. And we're really interested in finding out what Black IPA tastes like. And the second thing is the bottle conditions. I'm assuming this one is a bottle condition. If we could, see through the light, there's a little bit of the yeast that you could find at the bottom of the beer bottle.
Slightly troublesome because it's black, so more difficult to see.
So are St. Austell beers all bottle conditioned, or?
So for the most part, yes. Apart from one or two where perhaps bottle conditioning wouldn't make sense, such as a lager, they really take pride in bottle conditioning almost all of their beers.
Okay.
All real ales, as we would call them in England, are conditioned or served via a cask, and they're conditioned in the cask.
Right.
So since we're missing casks here, the next best thing is to condition in the bottle. So
makes sense.
If you wanted to try a British real ale, a cask ale, but you can't get to the cask, then a bottle conditioned version is going to be your next best choice.
Right.
And yes, pretty much everything that's in Austell produced is bottle conditioned.
Okay. And one question for you, Ryan, is that for the viewers out there who have never had bottle conditioned beer versus a non-bottle conditioned beer, what's the major differences in flavor between the two?
Certainly visually, of course, as you said, there's some yeast in the bottom. In terms of flavor, certainly because it is conditioned, you're going to get an extra carbonation in there that you wouldn't normally get. So that's going to make your beer a little more lively. It's going to give you a little bit more mouthfeel. In my personal experience, what I love most about a bottle conditioned beer is that because it's got that extra liveliness and that extra release of CO2, the aroma is a lot more pronounced.
Okay.
So if you pour out a bottle conditioned beer, the aroma is going to hit you a lot harder. You can really get your nose in it and get a good smell for it. Whereas if it was not bottle conditioned, then you're sort of relying on residual CO2 from the initial fermentation. Maybe the aroma is not coming through quite as strong, in my opinion, as what a bottle conditioned beer would.
Understood. Okay. Right on. Cool. So why don't we crack the bottle open and let's give it a taste.
I open these every day, so it's all yours. St. Austell's main beers are IPA, are Proper Job, Big Job, and Proper Black. So this is the family, and they do like to say they have a saying back in England: "Pour it proper," because there is the sediment in the bottom from the yeast. So ideally, be gentle with your pour, and you should leave a little bit left in the bottle. You shouldn't be pouring those dregs of leftover yeast into your glass.
Gotcha.
But personally, I think if it's travelled all the way from England to here, it would be a shame to waste it. So
right.
My personal preference is finish it up, right?
All right. Okay. So to start off, we get a jet black beer color, and then with a brownish, like khaki,
caramelly khaki kind of head on the top. Yeah.
Smells really good. Floral. The first thing that I pick up is very It's got flower taste to it, flower aroma to it.
Yeah,
and then it's got chocolate. Right now it comes off as a sweet milk chocolate, but I would
when you drink it will feel a little different. But yeah, that beginning aroma is definitely sort of like that sweet. Oh, it's like you said, like a milk chocolate. Yes. I agree, florally and a little tropical fruity maybe.
Yes,
certainly.
Definitely.
But that's quite typical of most IPAs.
Right. So based on appearance, this is definitely similar to a stout or porter, hence the Black IPA. But then I would venture to guess once we take a sip, close our eyes, it's gonna taste more like a proper IPA.
Well, I think one of the good keys to tasting this Black IPA, and probably any Black IPA, I would say, is that the taste buds in the mouth, the front of your tongue is going to be more in tune with the sweetness and the malts, and the back is going to be more in tune with the hops and the bitterness. So I always recommend try and keep it on the front of the mouth first and then swallow, because a good Black IPA, in my opinion, show elements of both the porter or the stout kind of profile that you mentioned, and also an IPA, that bitterness, hoppy, florally kind of flavor at the back. So I'm hoping you'll get both.
Let's try it. All right, cheers.
Cheers.
This is the order that I picked up.
Okay, hit me.
So at the front, it's got the bitterness, like a dark chocolate. I would say espresso coffee as well. A little bit of a toffee, but that's only in that's only in the flavor. Not too much of the sweetness from toffee. But then at the back end, there's the grapefruit. We got a little passion fruit, citrus.
Yeah, I think certainly grapefruit is really prominent from the hop that comes through. For me, I guess because I have a sweet tooth, I always tend to focus more on the initial taste. So like you said, that kind of bitter, that really, like if you go to the supermarket and buy that slab of 90% dark chocolate, you're getting that slight sweetness from the cocoa, but it's mostly bitter on the front. And like you said, that's sort of like toffee, tai tang, right?
Yeah,
I always learn this one, tai tang. That's sort of, you're getting the flavor, not necessarily the sweetness, but you're certainly getting that flavor and that profile through. So I tend to really enjoy that part more.
This is a great summer, dark beer that you could have. The body's light, so it's not overbearing for a hot weather. It's a great summer drink. It's a light, refreshing. But the flavor is full. It's very bold and it's very pronounced. So you could actually still enjoy that layers of flavors without having half a glass and then you're done for the entire day. So
agreed, absolutely.
So this is a great summer dark beer drink.
One of the side benefits I always think of a good Black IPA is it's a great interchanger. You could drink an IPA and then you're not going to jump straight into a stout afterwards. But if you had yourself an IPA or maybe a hoppy APA or something like that, and then move on to a nice blend of the two, you can then move on to your stout or your porter or whatever, and then vice versa back again. So it's a good bridging beer from one side to another.
It is, or you could just have
or you could just drink it straight.
Just have two of these, and you get
you get the
porter,
best of both.
You get the porter and you get the IPA all in one bottle. So before the show, we were talking about his shop.
We're based英派啤酒, Imperial Pint. We're based down in jongli that kind of area. So we're not in the main Taipei area. And on the front of one of our warehouse units, we have a sort of tap room / showroom. So as I said, we always have one beer on tap, and the full range of everything we have. I think it's about 26 different beers and ciders we currently have. So if you're ever in town, you're welcome to come visit us. Likewise for you, you should come down and visit us one day.
And for the viewers out there, if you're interested in the full range of the St. Austell's beers, definitely make a trip out there. And, visit Red.
One thing you were mentioning earlier, because you mentioned you'd taken a glance at the back of the bottle. Black IPA, controversial, or does it make you think about it? It is. I mean, even first in the name, in case you never know or you didn't know before, IPA stands for an India Pale Ale.
Yes.
So just black and pale in the same name is instantly
sort of
controversial.
Right?
I mean, I have seen some people call it an India Black Ale, which to me would make more sense.
Yes, or India Brown Ale.
Or an India Brown Ale, as an alternative. So nobody, I've tried all kinds of Black IPA. I think they all have their own merits, I don't know. I don't think anyone's really come up with what a black IPA should be yet.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, if viewers want to, pitch in your 2 cents and give us what you think of the
comments
black
below.
IPA, yes, comments below. One thing that we try to point out in this segment is that at the end of each review, we would think of a type of person or sort of an occasion that people could.
Oh,
this
okay.
would be the perfect match for that occasion. So, what's your take?
Wow, put me on the spot for that one, huh? Being a married man.
Okay.
With 3 kids, I'm used to a household with a lot of conflicting opinions.
Okay.
And my wife, for one, is someone who has really recently developed an affinity for porters and stouts. She really loves porters and stouts. Whereas before, she was sort of, I'd say more often, I'm more of a pale ale man. I think that's generally my preference.
Yeah.
But she's sort of now migrated to the heavier, full body, darker beers.
Yeah.
And so I would say my perfect scenario for this beer is in your household where you can't quite agree with your significant other, your spouse, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whoever they may be. So it's the perfect half and half. She gets the maltier, heavier, full-bodied, darker roast, and I get the wonderful aromatic hops. So it's a win-win. So that's my personal.
I like it. I like it. That's very good thinking on the spot.
Yeah.
For me, I'm just thinking about the flavors. I feel like having something dark or English style stout or porters. I imagine a gentleman came back from a long day of work, and this would be a good drink for him to sort of. It's a complex beer, so it's something that you have to really sit down and take a little time to think through it, and then I think it's a good beer for somebody who came from a long day of work. Crack open a bottle and then drink it while you reflect on yourself. It's a good selection for self-reflection.
I think so, yeah. That's a good one. Well, see, you had more time to think about this answer than I did, but probably better than my answer. But yeah, I agree. It's you can't just drink this beer straight.
Right.
It's impossible. You can't just drink it and wash it back and treat it like a session beer or something like that. It's gonna take you some time to really think about what is it I'm tasting and what parts of it appealing to me most. What am I getting at the start? What am I getting at the end? What's my interpretation of this beer? So if you're looking to put yourself into a period of contemplation, I think would be a great beer to choose.
Good. Well, thanks to Ryan for coming out, and we'll leave Ryan's shop information down below in the description. So you guys could, make a trip out whenever you guys are in Zhongli, visit him, and then, go in there for a beer and have some fish and chips and a little nice chat.
And should you ever be up this way, because I know Taoyuan is quite far, currently you have the Proper Job IPA.
Yes, we do have Proper Job IPA.
So you can probably get a little bit of you can tickle your tongue here.
Yes,
with a bit of St. Austell beer as well. So if you haven't been here for a little while, or even if you were here last night, come back again soon.
So next week we'll have a new beer to review, and please be sure to stay tuned. And cheers to the last bits of the
Black IPA, Proper Black.